Okay, sorry about that short lull. Okay, starting off, we have in blue is going to be the 12th Donegal Guards, and in red is going to be House of Lords. House of Lords has brought a heavier deck with one Dragon Slayer, one Cataphract, many Shadowhawks, and I would believe that's 5 lights, 2 embers, 2 Jenners, and a spider. On 12 Donegal Guards, they have a 9 Shadowhawk, 3 light deck, and the Donegal Guards are on the Citadel side, and they're doing a deep turtle just on the back 5 line of their base. Meanwhile, the House of Lords are just probing out with their lights, trying to get coverage along every angle, and slowly moving up to the upper city with their mediums and assaults. Some strikes are going out. They're actually catching Heimdallite's Dragon Slayer, knocking them down 10%, just the strike on the edge of the building. It's still superficial damage, but if that keeps up, it will eventually start knocking parts off him, and given that he's an 80-ton investment, that is a significant portion of their drop. Adubo's Ember is on the Citadel. He has also been knocked down to 81% by a strike that he didn't see. So House of Lords is currently taking some marginal damage. Both teams are stalemating. And it doesn't look like either of the teams want to push. I'm going to take a quick look and see if I can get a better readout. It looks like the 12th Donegal Guards have brought all brawling Shadowhawks. So they're going to try and work the Lords down just with strikes at range, and when the Lords decide to try and close in and push, then Donegal Guards is going to pull a counter push on them and try and surprise them by getting in close. Now, that being the case, House of Lords is going to move up slowly to about Citadel with about half their force. They're leaving 2 Shadowhawks and a Dragon Slayer in the upper city area, just trying to get eyes and angles, while moving a couple of their own down to the Citadel to get just flank shots, so that wherever you try to hide, you are still getting shot at. But the range here is so high that the damage is going to be minimal. House of Lords is getting their strikes out on the 12th Donegal Guards a bit better than they were before. Henry Pride's Ember has been absolutely savaged and is down to 66%. The House of Lords here, they're slow playing it a bit. They're trying to work down the turrets one at a time, so if they do go into a full assault, they won't have the turrets working on them and just consistently stacking up that damage. And normally when a team is cracking your base, this is a good opportunity to just get a free shot, few free shots in while they're distracted and wasting heat. But the Donegal Guards have brought the Brawlers, which in order to actually get work out of them, they're going to have to fully commit. So at this point, about half the turrets that the Donegal Guards are relying on are down, and there are a total of 6, so there are 3 remaining, and those are going to be further deep into the base, so not as useful on a push. The 2 Shadowhawks, Cafe Angst and Rick Ron, that the House of Lords left in Upper City are now rotating down to rejoin the rest of the force by Citadel, so once they rejoin, the House of Lords may be looking to aggressively push one side or the other. One thing to note is that the House of Lords has kept their lights agile and moving around and watching for any sort of movement, whereas the Donegal Guards, with Henry Pride injured and with the other 2 Embers sort of just ceding map control, their eyes on the 12th Donegal side are going to be a bit blind right now to the movement, and that may catch them off guard when House of Lords decides to push. The Lords have moved a couple Shadowhawks up onto the Citadel itself, just trying to get some angles and sniping done. Not a lot of fire going out either way. Trevelyan's Shadowhawk being harassed by an LRM turret. This point in time with House of Lords entrenched, it would be a pretty good opportunity for the 12th Donegal Guards. It's just to swing out to a side and try and get a strike on like the 3 or 4 Shadowhawks right up here on top. But it looks like what they're trying to do is just put the strikes on the top of the spire on Citadel and just roll them over onto those Shadowhawks, but they're keeping good eyes out for that and staying back from anywhere that the strike can roll over. Banana Muffins from House of Lords, his Jenner is going out pretty aggressively to the left here, trying to find an angle to get a good strike out. It's risky, but so far he's pretty safe. And it looks like Trevelyan's Shadowhawk has actually been just torn up a little bit by these strikes. One of them, a good one, must have hit him because he's down to 68%. And in general, by percentages, 12 Donegal Guards are ahead. This far into the match, judging by the amount of strikes that have gone down, depending on whether those Shadowhawks are running single strikes or double strikes, they could be almost out, or they could still have about half of them to go. And if they did only bring single strikes, then their momentum for this sort of play is quickly drawing to a close. And Shevchen's Shadowhawk 5M was caught out just down a very long sightline here by Cataphract, Shadowhawk, and that Victor. And he's down to 54%, mostly just by fire, and now his position is being marked and targeted by all of these strikes. With that, he's lost a leg. Leg goes, his ammo goes as well, and Shevchen is down from the strikes. Worthley's Ember has also been savaged down to 46%. House of Lords is slowly turning up the heat, getting these angles, and 12 Donegal Guards knows it. They're falling back to the left. They know that the lights are split off to their right, and they may be looking to put a push together for they're just worn down by attrition. House of Lords sees this coming, though. Their lights are coming in from the right-hand side to rejoin the main group, and they're falling back slightly into the water, about 300-400 meters, just so whoever peeks out of cover will get focused down, and it looks like Kip Dern is that target in the Shadowhawk. Trying to close in, but his team is trailing behind him. He's already down. EO, next one in, is going down. Score is now 4-0 in House of Lords' favor, with Donegal Guards trying to do a last desperation push, but House of Lords' position is just too strong right now. 6-0, 7-0 House of Lords' favor. There is no momentum left behind this push. Now 10-0 House of Lords, cleaning up the last. Last one is Henry Pride's Ember, legged with just a sliver of internals on his left leg, and down he goes. And with that last kill, the House of Lords takes their match 12-0. So basically during that, the 12 Donegal Guards were trying to play just a safe, conservative style and try and get their enemy somewhere out of the water, out of their own side, where they can get counter-pushed by those 9 Shadowhawks, which were all brawler loadouts. However, the House of Lords slowly advanced, wearing down the turrets, working the angles, and finding positions for good strikes and isolating shots, focusing at one guy who's caught out when he's turtling with 4 or 5 of their own, pinning him down in position, striking him, and then getting that first kill. And the 12th Donegal Guards realized that they were not going to continue that initial advantage they had, because they did have an initial advantage with their strike placement. But by the time the Lords closed in and were able to make their own shots accurately, 12th Donegal Guards were on their back foot.